Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon. Today we're going to be continuing our Sleeping Gods playthrough. But what I wanted to show you guys was what happened when I saved the game. I deliberately got to a point in the game where I felt like I wanted to experience what it was like to put it away for a little while and bring it back, just so I could speak about it intelligently. And so this is kind of what you're left with. The game came with these bags, which I was wondering what they were at first because they're so wide, but this is it. You are supposed to place each individual character board into the bag along with whatever cards they have slotted on them, weapons per se, things like that, any damage they have. You can see here that Marco has fatigue and his frightened status token on them. And so the bag system works okay. It certainly works okay for the fact that it's keeping everything separate from everyone, so everyone is going to get back exactly like they were. It's not like I didn't get to wipe my health clean of everyone and start back over. Other things that I did was essentially all of my quest and adventure cards are just in here. Those should be easy to pull out. And then I took all of my money I had saved up along with all of my tokens, like meat and stuff like that, and put them in this bag. I know that the diving suit's the only thing I've earned, and this is my port card, so it'll be easy to pull that stuff out of there. It was pretty easy to remind myself, okay, this is where I am on the bridge. The hull has 1 damage. The one thing I couldn't remember, and I guess I could go back and watch the videos, but I'm not going to worry about it too much, was so I had done this whole like put them face down, put these in face up, put another set face down, but I couldn't remember, was I most of the way through the deck and had a very large discard pile and a very small draw pile, and I couldn't really remember that, and that may be a problem with my storage solution. I'm not really sure. I also was like not 100% sure. I had to go back and reread. I was like, do I just recreate the event deck like it always was? And yes, the answer was yes. And I deliberately chose to save my game at an area where I had just gone through the event deck. So I just created a new one. But again, I guess I could have just saved those cards in with these. The only drawback to all of this was that the way I had these stored in there when I'm not playing the game and when I'm not saving the game is that all the character boards lay flat. All of these health tokens and whatnot go into these, the token trays that I have out and about. And what happens when you bag them up like this is they don't lay flat. All of these health tokens and whatnot make things stick up. And so the box, that's this large box that they included, where I had a lot of that stored to begin with, was not able to fit my very DIY tuck box for the combat cards, the monster cards. This fit in there in my original storage solution, but did not fit in when things were bagged up like this. So that was the only drawback. I attempted as hard as I could to figure things out, but that box, and this isn't like I overdid it or anything. This literally, I cut it down so it is almost the true thickness of that deck of cards. So you're not gonna, I wouldn't have been able to fit it in there even if I took it out of the tuck box. So basically, I just had to store this game away on the shelf, which I did on its side on purpose again to see if anything shifted, everything stayed in place, and it did. And I just rested that box on top. That is not ideal, certainly for a long-term solution, because I feel like that deck box might get lost. But I just wanted to point that out to everybody, how the system seems to work. It's there, but it's not ideal. And it was a little bit of a pain that not everything then fit back into the box. And I don't know, I guess maybe if I didn't have these plastic bins for everything, for all my tokens, everything would have fit back in. But anyways, let's get on with the show. I am gonna go ahead and set this all up, and then we're gonna get back to exploring. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. We are starting off on the final third of our mission. I'm very excited to get back to this game. Like I just showed you, putting it away was a little bit of a burden, but not a super burden. But this is definitely one that I will probably just leave out and power through next time. Very interesting that I just got done watching yesterday the Dice Tower's top 10 exploration games, and it involved Tom, Z, and Scott Aldy, who is, the creator of Board Game Geek. So between the three of them, these guys have played probably every board game imaginable, and each of them, Tom kind of waffled on whether to have this as his number one exploration game, and it ended up this was number two, and Seventh Continent was number one, which nobody is going to argue with him over, but Tom has it at number two, Scott has it at number one, and Z has it at number one. The game just came out, and it's already basically the three of theirs top exploration game, and I would have to agree with them on that. If I did a top 10 right now, this one would definitely be it. So let's go ahead and get started with the final chapter of this game. So we had another large confrontation. And we've steamed up here. We are in this area, and I know I need to visit these columns here in some way, shape, or form. If we look back at the map here, I've got the keyword dagger, which with a question mark in this area. And if I look back and find my keyword dagger that's got the symbol on it that means this is a quest. Svarm says there's a war brewing between Pan factions. He has asked us to go with him to stop the fighting. We can find the Pan factions camped in the forest island south of the Great Pillars to the east. So these pillars look very interesting, but I'm assuming that it's probably 146 here. But this is the pillars to the east. This is a forest to the south. So we're going to start with exploring 158 and possibly these two here before we steam out of this location, simply because it is a location that requires you to do a skill check. So, all right. I did rearrange things a little bit and just trying to, again, fit everything on the table here. My kind of lesser used characters are over here, and my main characters that I use are more prominently in view here, but hopefully this works for everybody. Let's go ahead and get started. So I had everything is pretty clear. I do have some fatigue out there though, so I guess let's go here. All right, so I'm going to draw a card, Adrenaline. All right, perfect. I actually want to save this to put it on Raphael. So I'm going to go ahead and discard this one as my action to remove a fatigue, and I'm going to remove it from Captain Sophia Odessa here because she's doubled up. And then I can gain two command, and I felt like I had somebody... No, I gain extra command when I use the bridge. Start of combat. Okay, so I don't have anything else. I thought the galley was giving me something, but maybe not. Okay. So I've gotten everything I need to out of this location, and the question is, do I want to pay, use up all my command to go ahead and slot this under Raphael before I start doing anything? That means I don't have any command moving forward, which would be unfortunate. These are the tough decisions you have to make. Do I give up all my command and my ability to mitigate stuff before I go exploring here, or do I just roll with it? Well, he doesn't have any fatigue, so let's just go ahead and roll with it. Let's start with 158. Oh, I need to do an event. I'm sorry. It's been a hot minute since I played this game, so gotta refresh myself with the rules. A well-provisioned ship approaches. Convince them you need help. Cunning 6. Okay. Alright. Or buy food. Pay 1 coin. Yeah, I'll go ahead and just pay the coin to get 2 grain. I'd actually rather have the 2 grain than just 1 grain and not have to pay any money. So that was a pretty easy decision there. Alright. So we did a little bartering. Now, let's start with our 2 actions. We will start by exploring 158. Ah, perfect. If keyword dagger, turn to 158.1. So we have keyword dagger. There we go. Svarm leads you into the forest where you find a pan encampment. I suggest we meet with them and talk things out, says Svarm, although it might be too late for that. Alternatively, we could speak into the camp and sabotage their battle preparation. Oh, sneak into the camp. We could sneak into the camp and sabotage their battle preparations. Speak with the pan leaders or sabotage their camp. That's going to take a perception 11, which I really don't want to attempt right now. So 158.2 it is. You enter the Pan encampment. Pan warriors surround you, their weapons pointed at your necks. Their leader, a young short man with a shaven head, appears. You must be hired spies from the Nadma tribe, he says. We should kill you for it. Svarm steps forward. I'm in the Milnar tribe in the north. You must stop this fight with the Nadma. There are hardly any Pan left. The Nadma lead us down a path of apostasy. They poison the minds of the youth. Soon it won't matter how many Pan are left if their minds are tainted. A. Say, minds can be turned with craftiness and manipulation, but once they're dead, you have no hope of changing anyone's mind. B. We can say, the ancients would have you respect everyone's right to their own thoughts. Freedom is more important than being right. All right. Or C, attack them and force them to give up their war. It'd be a level 14 combat against 3 different people. Let's see here. Minds can be turned. Okay. Or the ancients would have you respect everyone's right to their own thoughts. Freedom is more important than being right. Gosh, I don't know. I really don't want to get into combat right now because we just finished up a combat and I haven't had time to heal. So let's try this first one. Alright. Minds can be turned with craftiness and manipulation, but once they're dead, you have no hope of changing anyone's mind. 158.4. Alright. The Pan leader nods. You speak some truth, I suppose, but he is still unconvinced. You must persuade him. Cunning 8. Alright. So, cunning. We have a card here we can pass up. I would have liked to have slotted this under Captain Sophia Odessa, but that's a card we can give up. Let me see. Do I have anybody? Yes. Oobs on here can give me cunning if I need it. Let me see if I have any equipment. No. Perception with my equipment. Stone blood here. No. Okay. So, I think I kind of have 2 in reserve, and Sophia Odessa has 2, so I can get to 4 if I need to, and I need to get to 8. So she would need to draw a 4 or better. I would like to not have to spend the command. So let's see here. I am going to go ahead and fatigue Kasumi and Captain Sophia Odessa. That's going to give me 1, 2, 3. And there we go. Perfect. That's exactly what we needed. So I did not have to give up my card. I get to put that back in, and we were successful. So we're going to turn to 158.8. The Pan leader decides not to attack. We can perhaps resolve our differences through words. Svarm thanks you for your help. I will help you find your way home. Gain 2 meat, 2 vegetables, 2 artifacts, and 2 XP. Okay. 2 meat, 2 vegetables. There's 2 meat, 2 veggies, 2 artifacts, which can come in handy. Or they're just a good source of income. 3 artifacts. 2 materials. Man, this is quite a haul. Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Gain 2 meat, 2 vegetables, 2 artifacts. no materials, 2 XP, and complete quest 28. So we lose dagger, which is expected. We're going to gain 2 XP. So I need to mark that on my sheet. I actually accumulated a decent amount of XP here, so we need to find a port and return to the ship. Okay. Alright, so before we do another action here, I think I'm going to spend a recipe to try and heal up. 5 total. Vegetable pie is an idea. Or spicy gumbo. No, vegetable pie it is. Okay, so I'm going to have to spend a status there to give up 2 vegetables and 2 grain. Alright, so those are going back in. And I get to remove a status. The only one I actually have out and about is Marco's frightened status. I can remove 5 fatigue. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think we'll do it that way. And heal 6 health total. So I'm thinking I will heal 2 here. 2 here. So that's 4. And then probably 2 here. Over here. Alright. So that's a little bit better. Alright, so vegetable pie has been used for now. Alright. So now we've accomplished what we want to do. I guess I did say I want to explore these pillars. So let's start with 85 here. Alright, 2 bull's horns are carved into the stone above the pillar's double doors, which stand wide open, inviting. Mac places a hand on your shoulder. Careful, she says. The bull horns are a symbol of Orphash, god of Mithans. Do we enter the pillar? Let's see. It's talking about do I have the keyword tower, which I don't think I do. No. Okay. Not so sure I really want to get into another battle with them. So, okay. So I'm just going to leave. That was a little bit of a waste, but that's fine. Do I want to... No, I'm going to save that. All right. So I need some cash. So I'm going to go here. Let's claim a card. Well, first, let's do this. I want to claim my 3. Claim my 3 because then I'm going to spend 4 to slot this card here. Alright. Then I will claim my card here. Alright, engaged. Gain 1 command when you explore. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That is amazing. Oh, this didn't cost me 4 command. It only cost me 2 command. Okay, so give me 2 back. Yeah. Alright. Not even remembering how to pay for stuff here. Okay. Okay. Definitely want to slot that one. And again, Raphael will just become a beast. A strength beast. Okay. Because I explore a lot. And we get to heal 1 person who is suffering the most here. Let's do Captain Odessa. Alright. So I did everything at the sick bay. Alright. So now, let's check out 113, just so we say we did before we move on. I'm wondering if it's even worth it to get into these pillars right now. Alright, 113. The white walls of the pillar are covered with carvings of a chain-like pattern. At the front of the pillar is a smaller pier and a massive door covered in carvings of the same pattern. Do we have the keyword tricky, which I'm realizing... Hey, I don't think I have the keyword tricky. but I forgot to do an event. Okay. In the glittering turquoise shallows, you spot the skeletal remains of a ship. Sleek sharks circle the depths. Search it just to gain 1 coin. Okay, so I have to do this. I'm just going to wing it. -2 health. So I need a 5 or better in perception. I got a 4, but I have a lantern here, which can give me my 5th one. So we'll just do that. We'll slot that there. And I have used that up. And there we go. So I get to gain a coin. All right. Okay, so back over here. I don't have the keyword tricky. So let's try the front door. Hopefully this one is in a bunch of mythins as well. The door is locked tight. You spend some time trying to find a way to break the lock and get around it, but you have no luck. I suppose Zarka doesn't want us in the pillar, says Mac. While you and Mac discuss ways into the pillar, Laurent is busy fishing off the side of the pier. This way the trip here won't be a total waste of time, he says. The door is locked. Gain 1 meat. Return to the ship. I guess I don't technically get to use his rare catch ability. So we'll just gain our meat here and be on our way. Okay. All right. So I guess I should use my second action to steam forward here. The question is, I don't really need to be up in this area anymore. Do I want to head over here, probably go to port, do a market action before we head back down way over there? Shield. Yeah, I think I may steam this way. 22. Okay, I think that may be... Yeah, I think 22 may be one of the additional areas you can go to that's part of the expanded content, Tides of Ruin. So let's go check that out. All right, so that's kind of our heading. We have our heading. Okay, so I would like to be able to make it 1, 2 to be able to get into here. That would require a 4 or a 6. I'm only getting 1 from Audrey right now, so let's just wing it. I have a way to get that extra 1. So, all right, there's just a 2, but I have my totem of stone squids. This way I don't have to spend a whole nother action getting there. So between these two, I will have made it all the way over here to Lynn's Grove. And that was my second action. So we are going into a new turn. I feel like I definitely just want command right now. I don't really need to... Yeah, heal up that badly. So let's go to the quarters. Hold on, before we go to the quarters, before we do any of that, before I end my turn, let me spend some more command and slot this one. We are fully beefed up now. Raphael is at least. Okay. All right, so now let's go to the quarters. I'm going to claim 3. I'm going to refresh. Let's see, 2. And gain a card. +1 damage when this crew member hits. Ooh, okay, so I want to give that to Mac. Make her my perception person. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and just do some of our basic actions here. Let's start with the market. I've got a fair amount of money, and before I go blowing all my cash on healing at the port, let's do a market action. So where did I put my market cards? We get 7 cards here. Amulet of the Fox, that is an excellent piece of equipment. Biscuits and gravy, I don't really need another recipe. The Lucran steam engine, travel 2 distance, but it's 2 command. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't really need recipes. Alzarian cookbook. Cook 1 recipe for 1 fewer food token and do not pay the command cost. That's actually not bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Ooh. Ooh. I do like that. Give Captain Sophia Odessa a weapon. Okay. So, let's see here. I'm going to... Yeah, with a 2 block, and it's hitting on 4. That basically just improves her chances. Yeah. I like this. Okay. So we're going to spend 15 and get 2... Actually, I'm going to spend 15 total. I'm going to buy these 2 things. I will slot this over here. Turn these to the bottom of the market deck, and that was my first action. Okay, so now let's go to... Actually, let's just explore Lynn's Grove before we go to market. I maybe should have done that before... before I go to port. Maybe should have done that first. Lynn's Grove. The banks are piled high with massive pine logs, waiting to be loaded onto ships. A group of low wooden buildings clings to the shore, all built from the same pine wood. The forest looms almost threateningly, just beyond the buildings. Muscular men and women bustle around on various errands. Almost every one of them carries an axe. Alright, let's explore the woods. The forest is denser than you'd expect to be, given the massive logging operations going on. The people of Lynn's Grove, with all their axes, have barely made a dent in the trees. It's a tough hike, and you eventually stop to take a break. While you're resting, you hear Gregory call out. "It looks like someone's missing their property," he says. He's discovered a wooden trunk. A small card written in a language you don't understand is attached to the handle with a string. "Let me see," says Mac. It says, "If found, please return to S. Zazi, small rocky island near Lynn's Grove." So one of these 2. I doubt it's this. Okay. Continue on to the next page. So we gain quest card 65, and we get to take a new... I've been sticking these up here stupidly. Quest card 65. 61, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we found a wooden trunk with instructions to return to owner, someone named Essie Zazi. Alright, and it said Rocky Island near Lynn's Grove. Let me read exactly what it says. Small rocky island near Lynn's Grove. So I guess we explore 149. I'm guessing it's going to be 127. Looking at the map here, there is a tiny little island even further over. So, yeah. All right, but we get to go back and make the next choice, which would be to take a tour of the museum. So, the museum tour guide, an old man with copper skin and a cheerful disposition, introduces himself as Garland. This region has a rich history, he tells you as he guides you through the small museum. Once the gods lived here before you went to sleep. After that, the Pan Empire had a stronghold here until their civilization was destroyed too. Lynn's Grove is a fairly recent settlement. I already had wrinkles by the time it was built. The man glances both ways and gestures for you to come closer. Everything here is new. Not even the trees themselves are as ancient as they appear. If you want to know more, you should sail by the Pillar of Kempter and see what you see. Well, how do I know what the Pillar of Kempter is? Okay. Purchase something from the gift shop. Let's see here. I don't really want to purchase anything. Show Garland. The inscription requires the keyword sapling, which I'm pretty sure we don't have. Keyword sapling. No. Alright, return to town. Turn to 120. So, if we ever have the keyword sapling, I don't want to purchase materials. Alright, so we're done here. Just going to make a note that keyword sapling would come back here to Pan's Grove. Alright. Okay, so that was my 2 actions. I did a market action, and then I explored Lynn's Grove. Okay. Small, rocky island. Gosh, okay. Alright, so what else? I guess we'll just continue to reduce people's health. I guess I'm going to be doing a port action here in just a second. So maybe we go ahead and do a deck action. Yeah, I really want to heal up before, so maybe we're not going to be able to afford going to the inn. Alright, so let's go to the sick bay here. Before we do that, I'm going to spend 2 to slot this under Mac. Alright. Now we move here. I get 3. 1, 2, 3. I get a card. Okay. And I get to remove a health. 2, 2. I like having you at 3, actually. So we'll do 2 to Gregory. Heal up Gregory. Okay. Alright. Event. Zakmir Traders. A ship with green patch sail approaches. Trade. Trade up to 2 food for any type. Okay. Or raid their ship. Gain 1 low morale or 1 grain. Okay, so what? I have a fair amount of meat, so let's actually trade. Because I think vegetable pie is the best thing I can do. So let me get 2 veggies, because veggies appear to be the hardest to come by. So we did a trade. We're good. Let's do some more actions here. All right. Yeah, there's so much going on here. So let's explore. You never know, we might find the keyword sapling before we even leave this area. So let's do 165. The pines and underbrush grow so thick here that you're uncertain of your ability to navigate through it. Even if you could find something useful in the deep forest, you doubt that you could find your way back out again. You order your crew to stay close. Alright, cut down a small tree on the edge of the forest, which could be a sapling, actually. Search for the seed yourself. Okay, find a local guide to help you search for the seed requires the keyword growth. Or search for the seed yourself requires the keyword growth, which I don't have, so I feel like we're getting somewhere. So my only option is to cut down a small tree on the edge of the forest. It requires a craft skill, so let's send Audrey here just to give us 1. Yeah. And hopefully this is at least a 4. It's only a 2. So, yeah, I really don't want to fail. So let's spend a command on our gear to flip a new one. And that was even worse. Alright, so we failed. Such is life. Alright, let me rearrange some stuff here. Gear, totem are clear. Alright, so gain 1 low morale. Poor Marco. Return to the ship. Okay. Alright, so drop in my pencil. Let's just move on then. 201. If keyword reminisce. No. I think someone I know lives around here, says Mac. She leads you to a small cottage outside of Lynn's Grove, rushing ahead. She knocks loudly on the door. Carolina, you salty dog, are you in there or not? Open up. A woman opens the door. She's tall and muscular with short hair and a gold earring. Mara Johnson, as I live and breathe, you better come in. Go inside with Mac. All right. No, we don't want to raid the cottage. This is Carolina. We traveled together for a while, explains Mac as you enter the cottage. The rooms are sparse with minimal furniture. The walls are empty of any decoration. I'm moving soon, so almost everything's packed, but come and sit down. Carolina leads you to the kitchen where you all sit around a long wooden table. I can see it's been a few years, she says, nodding at the gray in Mac's hair. Mac laughs. And how long since you gave up piracy and settled down? Carolina turns to the crew. She loves to bring that up. But I was only a pirate for a few months. Turns out I make a much better lumberjack. Mac and Carolina exchange old stories, but soon the whole crew joins in a lively conversation. When you finally get up to leave, Carolina asks a favor. It would be a great help to me if you'd take some old supplies off my hands, give me less to carry. Consider it a thank you for letting me catch up with an old friend. Okay, so we gain 2 grain. Feel like it's a good thing we didn't raid her cabin. 2 grain, 1 materials, 2 vegetables. Oh, wow. 2 veggies. And remove all low morale. Sweet. Gain quest 51. Alright, so what's quest 51? I'm intrigued. Oh, reminisce. Okay. We visited the house of a woman Mac used to travel with. So I'm assuming if we come back, she will no longer be there. Alright, she will have moved on. Okay. So that was 2 actions. Let's move on. Let's just kind of keep into this process here. All right, let's do this. Let's go here. I will spend this card to remove. Who do we want fresh? Let's do Kanan. Actually, no, let's do Audrey. And then, so then I get to draw a card. Okay. And gain 2 command. Okay. All right. So before we go anywhere, I want to go ahead and pay 2 to slot this one. So Mac's now kind of our perception person. Captain Sophia Odessa is up there. I'll get her next. All right. So we're getting to the point where we're going to feel better about skill checks. Okay. A giant catfish, a massive catfish, slaps the side of the ship. Catch it. Strength 5. Perfect. We know who we're taking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I basically cannot fail. Perfect. Get that 2 out of the way, and we gain 1 meat. All right. Lots going on here. Okay, so I do want to go ahead and gain some XP cards before we move away from port. So I am going to go to port here. Unfortunately, I really can't afford to go to the inn, and I don't want to spend all this healing up. You know, people aren't that good. I mean, aren't that bad off right now. The inn would have been perfect, but I don't have 4 coins. So I will spend 1 material, if I can find it, to repair our 1 damaged ship. Get that out of the way. And now let's spend some XP. So I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 XP to spend. What do I do with my cards? My upgrade cards. All right, so stuff that we have talked about. Some of this stuff here. Place pistol damage diagonally. That one right there is really nice. It's giving her another icon that I don't really need her to have, but she becomes a 5 accuracy with a block on her saber. And I could add +1 damage with that. So Cannon +2 with the pistol. He becomes a 3 and 3 with the pistol. So that's really nice. What did I say? I have 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I can't afford both of those. This is a nice one, giving her that extra symbol. Yeah, so I think that's probably the best ones I'm looking at right now of gaining. So I think let's do Master Swordsman and this. We're going to spend all of our stuff. So Audrey becomes better at that, and Mac becomes nearly invincible in combat. All right, so we'll put these back, cross through all of my XP. All right. So that was action 1. Right? Did we do an event? Yeah, I think we did catch it. Which means I need to do a fatigued Raphael. All right. So we went to port. I guess let's just check 149, just in case that's not the small island we're looking for. All right. And then we'll steam up and around the corner here. All right. If keyword heretic, if keyword gumka, if keyword wandered. No, I don't think I have any of this stuff. No. Okay. From the deck of the ship, you can see a group of 5 silver-haired pan wanderers standing on the beach. You watch the Manticore approach as if they were waiting for you. The robes they wear show they're pilgrims from a religious order, Mac tells you. You can usually tell which order by the design of the robes, but I'm not familiar with this one. The leader of the pilgrims, an older man with bioluminescence shining through the crow's feet, wrinkles that mark the edges of his purple eyes, nods to you as you land. Well met, outsiders, he says. My name is Zoe. Perhaps you can help us. Ever since the Pan Empire was destroyed by the gods, we have wandered the seas, guiding the people of this world to greater piety so they may avoid a similar fate. We recently discovered that a certain scholar is in possession of the blasphemous book Gomka. The other pilgrims spit on the ground at hearing the name. We asked her to give it to us so we could destroy it. continues Zoe, but she refused. Now she won't let us back into her cabin. Please, you must get this book for us through persuasion of theft or trickery. The method is up to you, but the book must be disposed of using the proper rituals. It is for the scholar's own good. All right. Try to learn more. Yeah, I want to know a little bit more about what's going on here. So Perception 5, we're going to use Mac, who is already at a 3. And so we definitely passed that one. 149.2. You carefully study the robes of the pilgrims. The robes the pilgrims are wearing, and on close inspection you realize that the pattern of looping lines represents chains circling the torso of the wearer. You're not sure what this means. Zoe bows. Please consider our request. If you return with the book, we will reward you with secret knowledge that may help you on your journey. Gain 1 XP and quest 52. So, give myself my single XP there. And quest 52. All right, heretic, blasphemous literature. Scholar that lives nearby. I wonder if the scholar is the same person as Zasi here, which would be interesting. All right. So, I think that was my 2 actions, right? I went to port and I explored 149. So, the question is, are we going to go here or here? I actually want to try 155. So, all right. That's going to double up Raphael. So, before we do that, let's cook some food. So, I'm going to use the Alzerian cookbook here to meatballs. So I can do meatballs for 3 meat. 1, 2, 3. And I don't have to put a command on it. Alright, and meatballs is giving me 4 fatigue. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And 4 health. 2, 2, 2. So let's go 1, 2, 3, and I guess 4. Alright, so everybody's at 2. So if I can get back to port with 4 money, I pretty much just heal everybody up. Alright, so we did this. Let's put you down here. And now let's do, what do we want? I want as much command as possible, so go ahead and draw this card. Alert. Alright, so I can't really discard this card to give the crew member +1. Okay. And I get 3 command. 1, 2, 3. And I can remove 2, so let me get my gear back and I guess the cookbook back. Okay. Alright, we need to do an event. Choppy Seas. When you travel this turn, -2 to fate. Well, great. Well, I only needed to travel 1 place, so we got it anyways. Alright, so I could technically travel twice, but I'm wondering if this cabin is exactly what I'm looking for, so I'm only going to travel 1. I need to do a 6 challenge, so let's 1, 2, 3, 4. I need a 2 or better. We got a 4, so we're good. No damage. We traveled, and now let's explore 155. All right. You land in a small wooded area. Search for the scholar's cabin. Requires keyword heretic. Okay, well that didn't take us long. Turn to 155.7, which is on the next page. You follow the pilgrim's directions through the woods until you come across a strange house. It's a 3-story log cabin leading dangerously to one side. You can see smoke from the chimney. Wait for the scholar to leave and steal the book, or knock on the door. Let's knock on the door. 155 too. So I'm not so sure about these other guys, so I want to talk to the scholar. A Lucran woman answers the door. Her dark, curly hair is pulled back in a ponytail, and her expression is warm and open, with smile lines marking her face. We don't get many visitors here, she says with a smile. Please come in. She leads you through cluttered rooms to the parlor, clearing away open books, potted plants to give you places to sit. My name is Alakra, she says as she bustles back and forth. Are you all from Earth? You have the look about you. Mary's from there too. Mary! Another woman appears through a doorway. Her salt and pepper hair falls in loose waves down her back, and she smiles cheerfully. Oh, do we have visitors? She asks. Yes, would you mind bringing us some tea? Mary ducks back out of the room, and Alakra continues to explain. We're here studying the origin pillars, fascinating pieces of architecture. Interestingly, not a lot about them in the holy books, even the more apocryphal ones. Still, we're learning more every day. So what brings you to our home? I'm going to speak honestly. All right. Yes, says Alakra. I did speak to this Zoe fellow, but he has everything all wrong, you see. Well, you're not from around here. I'd better start at the beginning. Ooh, a lot of words here. There are 3 major holy books in our land. The Red Tome, the Cern Saga, and Gomka. They're not exactly scripture as you would understand the term, but rather books of history and mythology. Some believe that Gomka was written by an angry outcast and thus full of lies, whereas the other 2 books contain nothing but truth. However, as far as my research has been able to determine, all 3 books contain elements of both truth and fiction, each beginning from tiny seeds of historical facts, which grew through embellishment into what they are today. Even Gomka contains these seeds of truth, and it is no more dangerous than the other books. Clearly a practiced lecturer, Alakra pauses for a moment to let her words sink in. During the silence, Mary brings in the tea. I wouldn't trust Zoe if I were you, as she says as she passes around teacups. I don't think those pilgrims are all that they seem. Either way, Gomka is a rare book, and we need it for our work, so we can't give it up. But if you leave the book without making a fuss, I can share some information about the Pillar of Mikra that you may find useful. You are searching for totems, right? It's what I was asked to do when I first arrived here, but I gave up on all that after I met Alakra. Okay. Yes, I will give up the search. Give me a totem. 155.5. All right. Alakra claps her hands together. Excellent, she says. Mary goes to a corner of the room where she digs through more piles of clutter until you hear an aha. She holds up a piece of paper. It's sheet music. Everyone knows the goddess Mikra loves music, Mary says, but this particular song is a key. Sing it at the Pillar of Mikra, and you'll be able to enter. Lose quest 52. Okay. Gain quest 54. Return to your ship. All right. A scholar named Mary taught us a melody to sing at the base of Mikra's tower. Well, this is interesting. Do I sail back over here? Which one's Mikra's tower? All right. And that was my second action. So I guess I need to go here to give up the trunk. All right. But that was 2 actions. I feel okay about what we just did there. So now let's... Yep, this is going to be our last turn for this video. Guess I definitely want to heal up, so let's go here and we'll give up this card to take away your fatigue. I will gain a card, discard this card, equipped to give another crew member 2, so that's, I could really give Captain Sophia Odessa lots of cunning. And I get 2 command. So good number of command now. All right. So before we go any further, let's go ahead and spend 2 to give this to Captain Sophia Odessa. All right, in case we come across a cunning challenge. And here we go. Carpenters. An iron Lucran ship with a crane approaches. Pay for repairs. I don't need any repairs. Sell materials. Yeah, let's do that. Or do I even have materials to sell? I don't. Okay. Decline services. Thank you. All right. So I need to steam over here, and we'll check out 127, and then we'll decide where we want to go. Ooh. Look at this little rocky island, too. Hold on. Shield trunk. Return it to its owner. We found a wooden trunk. Hold your horses. Where was that? Was it 165? Where did I find the trunk? I think it was 165. I want to remember what exactly it said. No. It wasn't 149. It wasn't 201 or 120. Or was it 120? It was 120. It was when I was in Lynn's Grove. That's right. Explore the woods, 120.1. Found, please return to SC Zassi, Small Rocky Island near Lynn's Grove. So I'm wondering if this is it, because there's a house there. There's nothing on this island. So I could steam up through here and get right to there. So let's do that. I just need to travel one. Doesn't matter. That's going to get us there. And we will come here. And now let's do 137. Did not even notice that house at first. All right. An old hut stands on the shore of a rocky island, close enough to the water to be bathed in sea spray every time a wave hits. The hut is built of gray, weathered wood like driftwood, but it's sturdily constructed and in good repair. If someone lives there, they're nowhere in sight. In the shallow water, you find an old bronze bell mounted on a wooden pole. A sign nailed to the pole reads, "If you're here to return my trunk, ring once and only once. S. Zazie." All right. Search for the hut. Ring the bell once, because we have the keyword trunk. So that's what we're going to do. 137.2. The bell rings out far louder than you would have expected from its small size. You feel the sound reverberating through your bones and your teeth buzz. It's not a pleasant feeling. After a moment, a woman walks out of the water. Her long wet hair is a strange greenish color and falls in chunks around her shoulders. It almost gives the impression of seaweed. A Blathrine, Mac whispers to you. When she sees you all on the shore, she cocks her head to one side quizzically. "How can I help you?" "Are you S. Zazie?" Marco asks. She confirms her identity. When you give her the trunk, she looks delighted. "I was afraid I'd never see this again. Thank you for your kindness in returning it to me. I have just been diving for pearls. I must give you some sort of reward for coming all this way to help me, but I can't think of what. Do you have any ideas? What would you like?" So we can ask for pearls, we can ask for what's in the trunk, or we can ask for the bell. Ooh, I'm interested in the bell. All right, well, I suppose I don't really need the bell anymore since I have my trunk back. You can take it, but be careful with it. If you ring it once, it's a great way to contact people over long distances. But if you ring it more than once, it can hurt people. Gain 1 XP. Complete quest 65. And gain card 85. Which it says is Death's Bell. So this will be a fun way to end the video here. Let's check out Death's Bell. Marking my XP. And I need to find adventure card 85. Look at that. It is a weapon. Death's Bell. All right. Okay, so I'm going to take a hot minute and decide who I want to give this to. I may actually give it to Raphael. I may Yeah, because he was hitting for 3. I use him a lot. And yeah, we're going to give Raphael Death's Bell here. I'm not even going to think too hard about it. That is amazing. Look at that sucker. +5. So he becomes nearly invincible in combat as well. All right. And you know what? I have been exploring a lot since I slotted this card. So I know I just explored there and there and there. So I know I slotted him somewhere around here in Lynn's Grove. I explored there, there, and there. So I'm just going to go ahead and take some command. Since I have so much, I'm going to go ahead and slot this under Captain Sophia Odessa as well. So yeah, she is a cunning beast. Okay. All right, so that's going to end it for this chapter of our playthrough. We essentially have 2 chapters left to get to the finale. So hopefully you are enjoying our playthrough here. If you've stuck with me through it this far, the end is near. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, please consider subscribing to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.